Welcome to the Energy Upgrade podcast. Hey, I'm Vanessa, and I'm obsessed with all things health, energy, entrepreneurship, motherhood, and living my best life. I'm here to give you actionable steps in reclaiming your energy and reconnecting with your power. I'm a certified integrated health practitioner and kinesiologist. I spent the past decade with a focus on skin health and age prevention while co-founding a network of medical aesthetic clinics on the west coast of Canada. After healing myself from burnout, mold, heavy metal, and all the things, I'm back to my passion for health optimization, and I'm lucky enough to coach high-achieving women just like you in finding their energy and life force back. Transforming their life so they can step into the highest version of themselves has energized me and inspired me to bring to life this podcast. Here, I'll talk about detox, lifestyle, mindset, supplements, breathwork, parasites, and everything in between. I know you're so busy, so I keep it under 30 minutes. Thank you for being here. Cozy up and let's get started.
Your time is now. Your energy is your life force. You want to be able to magnetize your wellness dreams. A liver detox is the fastest way to start healing. You can and you will.
Hello, beautiful high-achieving woman, and welcome to another episode of the Energy Upgrade. This is Vanessa, your host, and today on the show, we'll be talking about detoxing. Yes, we're talking about detoxing again, but today I want to offer you a different twist, a twist that maybe you haven't been suspecting, something that is an unexpected benefit of detoxing that most people don't even have on their radar. And to me, that's probably the single reason why I absolutely love detoxing. Okay, so what am I going to be talking about today? I'm going to be talking about the emotional component that comes with detoxification. So, as you know, I'm a big fan of supporting our liver. I do believe, and I've seen time and time over again with my clients, that the liver is at the heart of what needs our attention. It's begging, it's screaming out loud to be looked into. The liver over time, as I've discussed many times, and if you haven't heard me talk about this, be sure to catch the very first episode where I talked about the rain barrel and how over time being exposed to toxins that are just invisible in our environment, in the food we eat, in the air we breathe, and the water we drink, and the things we put on our skin, we are just exposed to toxins way more than our body was ever intended or designed to deal with. And so what that does is it will fill up your rain barrel. See the rain barrel as basically an analogy for your body. So as you go on with your life, your body's toxic load will slowly but surely go up. And so your rain barrel will start to fill up. When your rain barrel is full and starts overflowing, that's when you start having random symptoms. Now, one thing that we rarely talk about is that traumas, stressors, toxic relationships, unprocessed emotions, they stay stagnant in the body. All of that stays trapped, stuck in the body. And that will, and it does, fill your rain barrel. So we often think of the things that are in our environment, the things we put in our mouth as the main cause of toxicity for our body. And it is true. It is very important. But today, in today's episode, I want you to start thinking about what are the emotional stressors that are stuck in your body based on previous traumas, previous life experiences that perhaps were extremely stressful, that you've decided to store away and not deal with because it was too much. No judgment here. Absolutely no judgment. I've been there. I know how it feels. And if I'm talking about this today, it's because I myself was able to release, revisit, and heal so many of these parts of me that were asking to be seen, to be felt for so long, yet I was completely ignoring it. So this is one thing I've learned. When you start looking into the liver, when you start detoxifying, toxins in all shapes or forms will start to come up, and they will make themselves very obvious. And that is the case for emotions. The liver, it's believed that in traditional Chinese medicine, we say that the liver holds on to anger, frustration, resentment. That's all stored into the liver. Do you see me coming here? Do you imagine what it does when we start shaking things up in there? Oh my goodness. Are we in for the ride? Now, there's two ways you can do this detox that I always talk about and that I recommend. You can breeze through it, push through it, deeply rooted in your masculine energy, like I used to do. And that's certainly how I did my first round of detoxing. I just was like on a mission. Okay, I got to get this done. 2 days of fasting. Okay. And then we're going to do this. I was uber prepared, and that's all great. And that's often how the first round of detoxing is, because you don't really know what to expect. But the second way, the other way you can decide to enter this detox process is with lots of intention, is by giving yourself the space, the time to not be doing when you're detoxing, but in fact to be observing, to be listening, to be leaning back, to be curious about, okay, what is coming up for me right now? The first couple days are the days where we're fasted. So we rely on the shake that we take every 4 hours. So it's not like a complete water fast. It's a lot more manageable. You still get some micronutrients, some electrolytes, so that you can actually continue with your day. But of course, when you're not eating, your body's trying to keep you safe. Your ego is not going to love it. It's going to challenge you in so many different ways. And again, you can decide to just push through it and be like, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do hard things. I want to prove myself I can do this. And that's amazing. But you can also go in and decide to pay attention to what this little voice is saying to you. You can decide to allow yourself on those fasting days more time for meditation, for journaling, for walking in nature, for grounding, to be and receive. Because if you do that, if you create the space for yourself to actually lean into the uncomfortable feeling, the things that have been asking to be felt, seen, and heard in your body will make themselves very clear. In fact, they will make themselves so clear if you take the time to stop and listen that you won't be able to ignore it. And think about this. When we're in a fasted state, there's so much that's happening in the body. First of all, there's a deep cleanse that's happening, meaning that all the cells that are kind of sluggish, they will be moved out. They will be completely recycled. It's like the body is saying, are you up for this challenge? Are you all in? If you're just 1 foot in, you're out. That's what the body does. And that's a process called autophagy. You may have heard of this before, but this is a really, really important process when we think about healthy aging, longevity, energy. Like, we need to get rid of the cells that are not all in, basically, is how I like to explain it. And so that's really what happens when you're fasted. And so you get rid of all these cells that are kind of sluggish, that were keeping you behind, that were keeping you in that low energy kind of funk. And so when you have all of these cells that are all in, perked up, and when you don't have food coming in, what happens is suddenly you have more energy available because you don't have to digest the food that you're eating. And also, you're not putting more inflammatory foods in your body, keeping your body in that state of like fight or flight, keeping your body in inflammation, keeping your liver on duty 24/7. Like, you finally get some space. And that's really where the magic happens. Now, is it easy? Absolutely not. And if there's one thing I've learned over the years of doing this, is it's different every time. I haven't had two detox experiences that have been the same. But what I love is, one thing for sure is there's always a breakthrough coming with a detox. And by breakthrough, I mean, yes, of course, energy, feeling comfortable in my own skin, maybe shedding some puffiness, feeling more clear in my brain, like less brain fog, feeling super clear, but also breakthrough when it comes to creative projects, inspiration, alignment with relationships, with anything in my life. Because what you're doing also when you're detoxing is you're drastically reducing your body's toxic load. So we're emptying that rain barrel very quickly. We're amplifying the amount of toxins that are being released because we're supporting the liver with the right nutrients in the supplements that are in the detox. We're supporting the liver in moving the toxins out of the body so that there's more space, just space. And with more space, we create more flow, more blood flow. And so anything that has been contracted for a while, anything that has been, think of it, I'll give you this example. Like when we say we have our stomach in a knot, like when we feel like there's this contraction in our gut, often that's related to a past experience or an emotion that was unprocessed that is still stuck there, creating actual physical contraction, less blood flow. And most of these traumatic, negative experiences actually find themselves stored in the gut. And so if you're struggling with whether it's IBS or, SIBO, or even just simple like bloating after every meal, or discomfort or distension, or a lot of that, the root cause is actually an unprocessed trauma, an unprocessed stressful experience, difficult experience, relationship, toxicity that you've experienced in the past that you've decided to just push away and numb yourself to. Well, when you're detoxing on the first couple of days when you're fasted, trust me, it's going to make itself really clear. Because you've created all that extra space, you have cells that are perky and ready to deal with the task at hand finally. And so it's very possible that difficult things will be brought up and will come up in the first day, especially on the second day. And I always say, like, please lean in. There's a reason why this is making itself seen. There's a reason why this is coming up. It's been asking you, begging you to be dealt with. We can't fully close a chapter. We can't fully move on. We can't fully detach ourselves from that narrative, those limiting beliefs that we may be having, if we don't allow ourselves to feel what needs to be felt, feel the pain, feel the anger, feel the resentment, cry, feel the sadness. Don't hold anything in. We have to feel the feelings in order to break through them. And I know this is difficult. Oh my gosh, is it ever difficult? But I'm here to tell you that this is a necessary step that is part of your healing. You cannot expect to lose weight and to start feeling like yourself again and to start feeling like lots of energy if you don't go there. The emotional piece is so important. I always say to my clients, you can take all the supplements, do all the things I tell you, but if you're not willing to go see what's under the hood and what's been there for sometimes decades, it's hard to expect long-lasting results. Because those old stories, those feelings, they create our narrative. They create what we call our limiting beliefs. And at some point, we start believing that these thoughts are who we are. We start believing that anger, those resentment, that's who we are, because we've been thinking that for so long that it's our loop. It's going on 24/7. And so some tips when you're detoxing is, first of all, don't believe all the thoughts that come up. And that's not true all the time, not just when you're detoxing, but even more so when you're a detoxification process. Don't believe everything that your ego is trying to tell you, because your ego is trying to keep you safe. And feeling your feelings can be extremely difficult and very painful. And so your ego is not wanting you to go there. It's trying to keep you safe. What it's doing is it's inviting you, instead of looking away, numbing yourself, watching more Netflix, having more glasses of wine, doing all the things that you know are actually not in your best interest, but they feel comfortable, right? Often it feels comfortable because we're numbing. We're trying not to feel. And that's the survival state. I see a lot of women that come to me and their nervous system is completely shot. And they tell me, I don't have a stressful job. I don't know what's going on. Well, what's going on is sometimes something that's been going on for a long time, and it's been asking to be felt. So be sure to not believe the thoughts that are coming up. Be sure to actually look at them with curiosity and ask yourself, interesting. Why am I thinking that right now? Why am I finding this so challenging? And to sit in it. What comes up? Where do you feel it in your body? Do you feel like you need to cry? Then cry. Do you feel like you need to scream? Scream. Do whatever you're feeling like you need to do. The release that you will get on the other side, I cannot tell you how liberating that is. And that is when true healing can take place, right? Again, I want you to really visually understand that when you have these stuck, stored emotions in the body, they create contractions, right? Remember that stuff, when you feel like your stomach is in a knot, it literally is what happens inside. And with contraction, we get less blood flow, we get less nutrients in those areas. And that's usually where we have things like cancer that start happening, because there's less communication between the cells, right? So it's really how it starts. Sometimes I have people saying, well, I don't understand why this person had cancer. They were so healthy. And yes, being healthy is definitely half of the battle, but looking into your emotions, dealing with what's been asking to be dealt with is so important. And that is one of the critical pieces of the work I do. It's one of the big cornerstone is that success mindset, is looking at what needs to be done. And that's why I have experts that come with me in the Energy Upgrade coaching program. I have breathwork experts that come in to move, create movement, create flow, using the breath to actually move these stuck emotions out of the body, giving them safe passage out. And there's nothing better than doing that when you're detoxing. It's just so powerful. So that was my message today, because as I hosted the Summer Queen event recently, it just was very clear that that's what women are needing to hear. They're needing, I'm giving you permission that it's okay to go and revisit those places, because that's where the healing needs to happen. That it's okay to be there. And I know it'll be difficult. I know it won't be the easy road, but guess what? You never get any breakthroughs when you stay comfortable. You have to push yourself into the discomfort to actually heal and break through and break yourself free from these limiting beliefs, limiting patterns, limiting thoughts that are keeping you small. So if you have big dreams to chase, if you're feeling like not only you're needing your energy, but you're needing to reconnect with that inner version of you, then the detox can help you go there head on. It's going to bring you there pretty fast. And you can see, and hopefully you can appreciate how this detox has really deeply rooted benefits to it. Of course, lots of physical benefits, but also just the emotional shedding. That's why I always talk about dissolving of the layers. Like literally, that's what happens. You dissolve some old layers of yourself that don't serve you anymore. And that's why for the summer, I'm offering the detox with a one-on-one consultation with me, because I've realized after supporting more than 500 women through this detoxification process, I've realized that you can literally 10x your results if you know how to do it well and if you know how to prepare yourself for it. And that's really where I can come in and support you through that process. And so for the summer, I'm offering this more personalized approach to detoxification because I want you to have these breakthroughs. I want you to feel like not only are you feeling better emotionally and physically, but overall you're feeling reignited, reconnected with your true nature, because I'm in for those big transformations. I'm not here for the fluff. I want to see you win big time. So if you feel inclined, of course, the link is going to be in the bio. But if you feel like, okay, it's time to do the work. It's time to start to detoxify your liver. It's time to start looking at what else needs to be seen. Then you can either decide to detox with me, or you can even join the Energy Upgrade Coaching Program, which is a wonderful sacred community. We're about 20 women in there. We have new women joining every month. And what we do is I go in live every week to give different teachings. We go really deep on topics that are instrumental to you feeling better and you reclaiming your energy. And also we have one-on-one together. So I get to support you more with a more personalized approach, making sure that all the protocols that you're doing are safe and appropriate for you, and that you have your own personal journey through that as well, because we're all, bio individuals. There is no one size fits all. So I try to really pay attention to that as well. So all of that to say, I love and adore detoxification. I think it's the most important first step of any healing journey. And especially if you've been feeling not like yourself, if you've been feeling like you're just down a downward spiral, then, the detox can act as a literal line in the sand where there's no coming back after. Like you're just going up and up and up after that. If this was helpful and if you had a few aha moments, please feel free to share with a friend that needs to hear that. Perhaps a friend that that has had or been through really stressful and difficult times, and perhaps that they need an invitation to go and revisit those places in a safe container. I would love to support you or them or anybody on that journey, because that's really what I'm here to do, is serve you in transforming yourself and really, really reclaiming that deep life force energy, because you deserve it. It's your birthright. It's not something that you get that you only get if you're lucky. I don't believe in luck. It's your birthright. And so why not take advantage of it in this lifetime, right? Okay, enough for today. I've said enough. Hopefully you get the point. And as always, if you've learned a couple things here, if you had some aha moments, feel free to let me know. Leave me a review on Apple Podcasts. I read every single one of them, and it keeps me going. It really does. So I can't be grateful enough for you being here week after week and all your wonderful comments. I'm glad it's resonating and helping you. And that's what I'm here for, is supporting you in this big transformation. Thank you again for being here, and I can't wait to see you for another episode of the Energy Upgrade next week. Bye for now. Well, hello, beauties. Guess what? It's detox season. Well, I know it always is, but in the summer is such a great time to feel comfortable in our own skin, to feel reconnected with ourselves, with our true nature. And that's why, for a limited time only, I've decided to not only offer you the detox as usual, but to also pair it with an individual health consultation with me, because I want you to not only just detox and push through it and just have that be another thing you do. I want this to be a transformation, an opportunity for you to have a real reset. I want you to 10x your results. If you're going to already spend 7 days and spend the money into this, I want you to get everything you can out of it. That's what I'm here for, is supporting you, making sure that you are not doing this alone, making sure I'm holding your hand, and also preparing you for the rapid transformation and the beautiful things that can arise from doing a liver detoxification and being all in. That's really what I'm here for. So for a limited time, you can book both the detox and a consultation for $397. It's first come, first serve, because I only have a few spots available, but I would be so honored and delighted to support you in this very important step in your healing journey. Okay, I hope to see you there and to support you into your massive detoxification. See you soon. The information shared on this podcast is for information purposes only and doesn't provide any medical advice. Vanessa Grutman does not cure, diagnose, or treat disease. Please consult your physician before trying any new protocol or product.